Very important. Also, we're standing by at the top of the hour at 2 p.m. Eastern for the Pentagon briefing. The Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, U.S. Air Force General Richard Myers, will be answering reporters' questions. CNN, of course, will have live coverage of that as well at the top of the hour. But let's turn now to one of our embedded reporters. Steve Nettleton is with the 173rd Airborne, securing huge oil fields in northern Iraq. He's joining us now live via video phone with the latest. Steve, tell us what's the latest.
Well, Wolf, the 173rd has secured a pumping station here in Kirkuk. Right now, the first thing that's changing is that they're going out on patrols in the city of Kirkuk. There's been sporadic looting here as well. Lots of gunfire through the air throughout the day. You could hear AK-47 gunfire, pistol shots. A few times you heard ricochets coming fairly close to you when you're driving down the street. They have begun these patrols to at least provide a presence, some sense of U.S. force in the area, in the city of Kirkuk. Now, on the outskirts of Kirkuk, the U.S., the 173rd Airborne, has secured the oil pumping stations that are considered vital to the economy of Iraq. Oil stations that they were concerned could have been destroyed or sabotaged, or that with the Kurds, if the Kurds had moved in to take control, might have concerned Turkey and caused Turkey to go across the border. So the U.S. forces have moved in, secured the oil pumping stations. They have secured various airfields in the area, and they're preparing to run more patrols through the days ahead. This had originally been intended to be a military offensive, a military operation. Yesterday, Thursday, they had lined up all the tanks and Bradley fighting vehicles. The full 173rd Airborne Brigade began a convoy down to this area, expecting to engage as many as 2 or 3 Iraqi divisions. When they got here, the Kurds were in control, and the only thing they found out the Iraqis were remaining torn off uniforms and empty APCs. Wolf?
So, Steve, I just want to make sure that I didn't misspeak. There are no oil fires up in the northern part of Iraq near Kirkuk. This is an area that has about 1/3 of Iraq's oil wealth. But what you're saying is that all of the oil fields have now been secured around Kirkuk, and the earlier fears going back before the war that the Iraqis themselves might torch these oil fields, they simply did not develop. Is that right?
That seems to be the case. There is one oil head that appears to be on fire. I'm not sure if that was a deliberate sabotage or not. Otherwise, though, most of the oil areas seem to be intact. The U.S. troops aren't actually occupying the entire oil field. They've mostly concentrated on the pumping stations, the pipeline control facilities. They appear to be intact. However, there's no one there to work the equipment. No way to know for sure if you turn it on, if the pumps are going to work tomorrow. However, there doesn't appear to have been any widespread sabotage of the oil facilities here near Kirkuk. Wolf?
What a dramatic development that in and of itself is, especially to everyone who remembers the first Gulf War a dozen years ago. Here in Kuwait, at the end of that war, the Iraqis simply began blowing up Kuwaiti oil fields, causing enormous environmental damage, economic damage. There was great fear the oil fields in the southern part of Iraq and in the northern part would be destroyed. That simply was not allowed to happen. One of the success stories of this war. Steve Nettleton, our man on the scene for us with 173rd Airborne, doing some important reporting for us. Thanks, Steve, very much.